Hi, everyone. Welcome to the So True Network with Dawn Johnson and Powers. I am so glad you're here, and I'm extremely excited to have you here for our In Tru Conversation series. In this space, we sit down with community leaders, educators, and our community voices who are making an extraordinary impact. Together, we'll explore how their journeys connect to the So True pillars: community empowerment, women's empowerment, and financial empowerment. These conversations are about truth in action, our overlapping circles with great people and their stories that remind us we are stronger together. As you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our So True updates. But Tina, I think what I admire about just watching you evolve is you became laser focused on decision making and finding your voice. And I think when we talk about women's empowerment, I think those are key components to really feeling empowered. Um, Finding your voice, but I think you learned how to voice with purpose, making sure that you knew what the end result was that you were seeking versus talking to just be talking. Because I think you learned that you may have some things stirring up inside of you, but is that, I call that throwing up on people. You just regurgitating all this stuff that you haven't worked through yet. So work through it.
Yeah.
And then when you figure out what it is you're truly seeking, then you can go in very decisive, very definitive with what you are trying to accomplish and know that there's an end result that you're seeking on the other side of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's led you to now, like we talked about, fast forward to the path that you are on now. And I see that you have found freedom. Like to me, you're no longer seeking opportunity for financial stability. You've kind of found your footing, I think, and you can share whether you feel that way now financially. And now you get to choose opportunities that feel right for you
Mm-hmm.
and confident in voicing and not afraid to voice what you're feeling in the moment out of fear of losing an opportunity. So, talk about how you got to that point financially and, courageously.
Yeah. Financially, I think there's levels to it because I am at a level now where I I have I don't do a whole lot in terms of like overextending myself.
Mhm.
So, and I know I'm a curious person. So I wanted to make sure that if I did do anything, like I had that flexibility. And I knew in order for me to have the flexibility, I had to live beneath my means, like below my means.
Mhm.
So I have done that by just being intentional. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way.
Mhm.
And I'm not at the number that I want to be at, of course. But my goal was, if I wanted to quit my job and go work at McDonald's, can I take care of my bills?
Right, right.
Can I
Yeah.
take care of the basics? And I'm a homeowner, so can I just take care of everything? And I can do that. So
Mhm.
I think that goal was reached. But of course, it's not where I want to stay. I have bigger ambitions. So I would say getting there was definitely about fighting against that, need to be seen, because I went through that stage. I went through the stage of buying an expensive car.
Mhm.
At the time, I had like 2 cars. And then I realized, like, this is not really what you want to do. So I sold that car and, just kept it moving, kept it simple. Um, as far as courageously, I think that is a continued work in progress. I'm not on the level that I was even 2 months ago, even last month. But I'm comfortable with, this is who I am,
Mhm.
so either I'm going to be Teena, or I'm not going to be a part of whatever this is, whether it's a company, whether it's relationships, um, and a lot of times even family members.
Mhm.
I've developed to the point where it's not about even being angry. It's
Mhm.
about, this is really who I am. Like, and I like myself.
Mhm.
And I got people around me that that love me too.
Yeah.
And I say good relationships can help heal you. And I think that God has definitely blessed me with some solid people in my life. It's not a crowd,
Yeah.
but I got some heavy hitters who show up for me. We may not even talk every day, but when I tell you they got me, like I think about them when I have to have a hard conversation or when I have to walk away from an opportunity or even a relationship, because those relationships have helped healed me. I realized that I did struggle with validation issues for a long time, and I would try to please or get the validation through doing, but now it's like I'm good.
Yeah.
I am really good. And if I like if there's a relationship that doesn't feel right to me, that I mean, like I've already proven to myself, girl, you okay with being challenged for
Yeah.
growth? Like I actually lean into growth.
Yeah.
I've been doing this ever since. Like I ain't new to this. I'm true to this for real. Like
Right.
I lean into growth. So I'm not running away from hard relationships. But what I do have now is boundaries. So that's the courageous decision that, again, there's levels to it. But I am really proud of myself and happy that I finally moved to move from that level of let me just do. Let me make sure that they know X, Y, and Z. Now it's like
They'll figure it out.
they will figure it out. I don't even have to say much. Like if you even if like if you're my friend and we've already had a conversation about what my needs are, like I'm only going to tell you one time, and that's it.
Yeah.
Now, if you come to me, you want to have a conversation, I'm always open for conversations. But I've already laid out the boundary. Like if you know me, like you know my boundaries.
Yeah.
But if you cross those boundaries, I'm not mad. I have to shift the relationship and it's okay.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. So, you know, too, what it feels like because there was a point in your life where you weren't that person. So, when you reflect back to when you weren't feeling that level of confidence, what did that do to your soul and your spirit? And how did it propel you forward to where you are today?
What did it do for my soul and my spirit?
When you didn't embrace your voice, freedom, and set the stage for having that ability to say no and to set the boundaries.
What did it do for me? Like it did nothing for me. I mean, it was a learning experience,
Yeah.
but it was annoying because I kept seeing the cycle, kept seeing the pattern. I mean, I went through one pattern where I would say yes, but I really wanted to say no. And when I would think about like, but why didn't you just say no? And then I realized like it's tied to certain things. It's tied to either me wanting to perform to get love or perform to get acceptance, perform to get an opportunity. Um, but I mean, that did come into my life to teach me something. So I do honor and appreciate that.
That
But
experience.
yeah, I do. I do because now like I know it and I also see it in other people. So when I see it in other people, I give them grace. If the opportunity presents itself, like I'll pray, and my prayer to God is if I'm supposed to say something, create the space and the opportunity, and then I'll do it. Like I'll maybe share a bit of my experience.
Yeah.
I had a friend one time who was a yes girl. Like she would say yes, but when it was time to do something, like she would back out almost every time, or she would be running like severely late. And I just put her to the side one time and I said, it's really okay to say no. Like if we get upset because you say no, then we're not the right friends for you. I'm not the right friend for you because we had a little friend group at the time. And I think that released her. So what it did for me was it it challenged me to grow. It also empowered me for myself, but then also helping me like empower others.
Yeah.
Because I do think that the you know if you are in somebody's life, the same ditch that you fell into, like they shouldn't be falling in the same ditch, right? Like you should, hey, let me help you move the other way. So that's what it's done for me.
So when you were transitioning from your 20s to your 30s, so you had Amber at 17. So that means that while you're going through this journey, your daughter is becoming a teenager. So how did that show? You participate in the Mother-Daughter Project. So we got to see the beautiful perspective that you and your daughter shared about your journey, but just a little bit about how your journey showed up in her life. And I just see her now and the things that she's accomplishing, and I'm going, oh, look at how this all turned out. There was a point where it was some bumping of heads and
Yes.
all the things, but
All the
it
things.
turned out all good. So how did you navigate your relationship so it didn't turn out bad? Because I know mothers and daughters who aren't speaking to each other because they didn't navigate that season very well.
Yeah, and I might need some tissue on this one. Like
Yeah.
Amber, that is, I tell her, look, you my little friend, but I'm not your little friend. That's what, and she'll be like, Mom, you know I'm your BFF. But oh, Amber, that girl. When I think about her, all I can see is her smile,
Mhm.
and now it breaks my heart when I hear about mothers who struggle with their daughters
Mhm.
because Amber, in my relationship with Amber, I realized that I just didn't have some of the tools when
Mhm.
she was coming up because
Just in case.
just in case I'm gonna be a G, it's not gonna happen. Um, but I realized that there was some tools that I just didn't have because my mom didn't have the tools. She didn't give me certain things. Hence why for a long time I was seeking validation. So how it showed up in Amber, um, like I'm growing up with this girl, right? Like we
Mhm.
both trying to figure this thing out. But one thing I did do was when I felt the disconnect, like there was a time when I felt uncomfortable hugging Amber.
Mhm.
But even though I felt uncomfortable, I would still hug her.
Mhm.
I felt uncomfortable saying I love you. Cause like
Wow.
growing up, my mom didn't say she loved me. I knew she did, but she didn't like she wasn't affectionate towards me. So naturally, like I was not an affectionate mom to Amber. And I remember feeling uncomfortable, but seeing other people say that, I love you to your daughter. And I'm like, I knew I needed to say it to her because she
Mhm.
needed to hear it. But I took that on. Like, even though I was uncomfortable, she didn't know that I was uncomfortable. And if she hears this will probably be the first time she hears it. Um, this would be the first time she hears because I never said that to her or even like the hugs. But I would put myself in very uncomfortable positions for her. I
Mhm.
remember the first time that I took a flight with her. I remember my mom being afraid of flying.
Mhm.
So the first time I took a flight was, I think I was almost 20, and I was scared, but I knew I did not want to pass that fear to Amber. So when her and I took the plane for the first time together,
Mhm.
I had flown before. I was still a little nervous, but I remember not wanting to let her see that I was afraid because I wanted her
Wow.
to be okay. And I would check in with her on certain things like, you good? And she'd be like, yeah. She'd be like, yes. But the whole time I'm nervous.
Yeah.
But it's like I had to make sure that she had an opportunity to experience it for herself.
Yeah.
So it was things like that, like putting myself in uncomfortable positions because I knew she needed it. I could have easily said, well, I didn't get it. So
I don't
I'm not
have it
going
to
to,
give you.
I don't have it to give you because it's uncomfortable.
Mhm.
So what we really face is being uncomfortable. Like moms who in those situations, it would have been easier for me to say, I'm just going to do the best I can by her. But facing them inner demons to make sure I
Mhm.
don't pass them to her, like that took some work.
Yeah.
So that's what I did with her. And I also probably did that too much because one time Amber told me, it's like everything is easy for you. This is when she was in like middle school. Like, what?
Yeah.
Easy? It's not. So then I began to open up a lot more with her. I started to tell her everything. No,
Mhm.
she wasn't in middle school. She was in high school.
Okay.
I started to tell her more. Like, today I had a bad day, and this is what I did.
Yeah.
I just can't. Today, when she started her cycle, I had when my cycle comes on, sometimes I need space. And
Mhm.
I tell her the same thing. When your cycle comes on, if you start to feel it, like it's a good time for you to go in your room and just chill out. Like
Mhm.
you have no obligations. Go be
Yeah.
with yourself.
I love that. How do you see it showing up in her life right now today?
So, first of all, she thinks she's my coach. You know, she's regurgitating things back to me now that I've said to
Mhm.
her, years ago. And I'll okay, Amber, like, you know what? I got you. And she'd be like, because that's what you told me.
Yeah.
It's almost she'd be like,
She's your accountability
she
partner
is
now.
really my accountability partner. And even though she's all the way in Hawaii,
Mhm.
she has my location on her phone. So she'll like one day I was at the beach and she was like, "You didn't tell me you was going to the beach. What you doing at the beach?" She's like FaceTiming me. And of course she's in her military uniform, so it's almost like she's a drill sergeant. But
Uh-huh.
that's how it's showing up. And I know she's figuring it out because she's in her 20s.
Yeah.
But what she doesn't see that I see is, man, this girl is okay with facing hard stuff.
Yeah.
Like, she is the one in the family. My brother is so proud of her because he always says, Amber, I don't worry about Amber because Amber is going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, she will try her best, but she also has balance because when she can't, like, she also knows how to rest. Like, she also knows how to.
You've modeled that for her.
Mm, I didn't even realize that until I'm seeing her in action. And sometimes I have to remind her, like, you actually are doing really good.
Yeah.
Like, the taking a break when she bumps up against something that's hard. She likes to say this phrase, I'm gonna try again tomorrow.
I love that.
I'm gonna try this again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we'll laugh and she'll go. And she journals. Like,
Mhm.
she's doing things that I wasn't doing at her age. So it's really good to see. Like, she's really inspiring.
Thank you so much for joining us for In True Conversations. Every story shared is another piece of our collective truth that we're presenting to our community to build together. I invite you to stay connected with the Soul True Network by subscribing to our channel, liking our videos, and please share this episode with someone who you think may need it. Remember, your truth matters, and when your truth and my truth intersect, we will find liberty. So I'll see you in the next conversation.